Welcome back. This is ViperAS for Viperland. Just finished the Vicidius kill and going back now to the more main progression of this raid, soloing. Again, Vicidius is entirely...
Your friends will abandon you.
I don't know if you... hopefully I'll keep the sound loud enough that you can hear that. You do get audio whispers from Cthulhu while you're in this raid, which is a great bit of flavor. I love that so much. It doesn't show up in your chat. If you've got the volume turned down, you might not even realize quite what you're hearing. I love that bit of flavor to this place. As I was saying, you could skip that guy. He's not necessary whatsoever. Whereas this further path is necessary. Oh, I forgot to swap back to my two-handed weapon. I prefer the two-hander, as most people in Blood Spec do. I really don't know anyone off the top of my head that prefers to blood tank into one-handers. I don't even know if it's possible. So, but it is good to swap to for different fights sometimes. In here, we've got this guy, or this gal, I guess, princess. And it's another one of those fights where I'm sure back in the day, this was a really intensive, like, there were different mechanics and all that stuff. But right now, there's not. This is just... it's tank and spank. It's going to do a little bit of poison damage, 250 every 2 seconds. They're going to enrage and hit a little bit. Admittedly, I never made it this far on the Warlock, so maybe a level 86 might have problems here, but otherwise I've never had any issue with the guy, or gal, whatever, with the giant bug creature. So, the princess goes down... oh, I forgot, I'm dismounted from the poison damage. Princess goes down really easily. In this next area, you have to kill all of these defenders unless you want them to join in on the next fight. If you don't kill all of the Anubiseth, whatever, all of these defenders, if you don't kill all the ones in these hallways before that boss, they will all aggro when you aggro the boss. And since the upcoming boss is, even at a higher level, a bit of a DPS check and kind of a pain, it's recommended that you kill them all. It's possible to deal with the whole thing at once. I've done it when I accidentally, before I found out that you had to kill them all, and accidentally pulled all of them. Oh, excuse me, hiccup. So it's entirely doable, but I'm trying to show a at least slightly optimal way of doing this. I'm not perfect. Yeah. I guess this would be bad if you were in a party, but even then, not really. You do nature damage to things around you, but it's like, what is it, 900? Yeah, not a lot. These guys do also drop, or spawn large obsidian chunks, which are mineable if you're not taking constant periodic damage. So I'm going to skip that for now. I don't even really know what's in them. I tend to skip them overall. So maybe they're good. Ah, they're back there now. Alright, I'm going to cut them off at the pass over this way. Speed up a little bit. This tends to be one of the more tedious parts, but maybe I'll leave one or two of them up just to demonstrate. They're really not going to be too much of a threat to me. And I'm going to do this next battle in tank spec, but it may actually be better for people to do it in a DPS spec, because it's more of a DPS check. I didn't mean to pick up the scarab. It's more of a DPS check than pretty much anything here. It used to have strategy and all that fun stuff. Now it's a hard DPS check, unless you have multiple people. If you have multiple people who can tank, specifically one melee and one ranged, then it is possible to do it the old-fashioned way. And I'll show that in a second. Just going to take this guy down. I left one alive, I don't care. He'll probably come in, or he'll definitely come in. And he won't really impact things whatsoever. Ah, there's the yellow mountain. I could pick it up, but I can't do anything with it. It's not sellable, and I already have one. So you walk into this room over here, and you will see the Eye of Cthulhu, or the Master's Eye, I guess, which will notice you. You stand before a god. Again, I really like the flavor of the old gods back before they were really overdone and turned out to be the cause of pretty much every issue ever in the entire history of the World of Warcraft. So here we have the Twin Emperors. That guy does spell damage, is immune to, well, is not immune to physical damage, but he will knock you back, like physically knock you back. So melee people would have a really hard time with him. This guy I believe he's immune. He's definitely immune to diseases, and I think he's immune to at least some types of magic damage. But he won't knock you back, so he's the melee type that you tank. The problem is, if they get close to each other, they heal each other over time. They do have a shared health pool as well. But the thing is, that used to be a problem. But now it's not, because the damage is so high. If you are coming in here, just a note before I start, if you're coming in here to do it the old-fashioned way, and you have one spell person to tank that guy, and one melee person to tank that guy, on opposite ends of the room, every once in a while, they will swap places and immediately reset their aggro table. So you kind of have to hurry to pick up the one that you had again and bring them back where they were. Otherwise, it's not bad. But if you have any amount of damage whatsoever, I think I've got, it shows 7,000 DPS here. In eye level, 527 is not too low. Half tank, half DPS gear in a blood spec. I can still, even without the cooldowns, I'm going to use them just to speed things up a little bit. I don't really need that one. Oh, there's our friend. It's still entirely possible to kill these guys when they're getting the heal from one another. Now, it looks like I pull some of the scorpions too, which are utterly irrelevant. So he's immune to the diseases, which is unfortunate because that cuts out quite a bit of damage from Death Knight. Maybe not quite a bit, but enough. And now they swapped, so he's going to start knocking me away, and this guy's going to just beat on my worm a bit, I guess. And there's other ads in the room, little scorpions and stuff. I think they're summoned by the big guy, actually, by the defender. But it doesn't matter. This guy's just going to drop shortly. And then I'll deal with this guy and his ads. Like, really the only issue with these guys is the mechanics of the fight. Their attacks, weak. You're not going to die to them, pretty much ever. But it can still be a pain to keep them apart, which guy is immune to which damage, if you're trying to do it that way. If you're pure DPS spec, there's really nothing to worry about. So I dropped some money. Enchant Glow's Threat. That was... I wonder if that would still be good these days. Nowadays, threat is easy. Nobody really cares. Alright, so I don't remember if they have the same loot. Let me check this guy just to be safe. I think they do, though. No, they have different loot. And they can drop a pet, too. Very nice. I forgot about that. So, make sure to loot both of them. And we have a Noobish Idol, which is that guy there. I already had one of them, but they are really awesome. Apparently, there's an easy way to level up low-level pets if you have a max level one of those guys. I don't, so I don't know how to do it, but apparently that's a thing. I think this is going to be the end of episode 3 of the Temple of Ahn'Qiraj, with the final two... Yeah, the final two bosses for the last episode. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for watching. This has been ViperAS, and tune in next time to finish up the Temple of Ahn'Qiraj, or AQ40.